This probably gonna make Uncle Leroy beat your ass though. So I hope your hand game is straight, cause once he get a couple of whiskeys in him, he gonna knock you out. He gonna beat your ass.
From Hollywood to Soho, we be wearing polo. Narcos is a no-no, that's just how it go though. You got it for the low-low, it's probably US Polo, a Beverly Hills Polo. All of that is so-so, interlocks and chevrons, Cruise Navy and Lemon, Ralph Lauren Wearon. I'm buying what you sellin', Maui Pink and Melon. Tell them about that rustic.
Greetings, and welcome to another edition of Seamless Style, powered by Politics and Polaroids. I'm your host, Mr. Parker. All right, so we are head first, knee deep into the holiday season. All right. Now, whatever the holiday season means to you, because it could mean different things to different people. That's obvious. We're not all the same. We don't have the same mindset. But one thing's for certain, for the mass majority of us, no matter our race, creed, or color, the holiday season means family. All right. Now, everybody's family ain't like this, right? Everybody's family ain't tight. But they're family regardless. And for the most part, I'm not talking about those serious and often tragic circumstances. I'm talking about in general. This is a blanket statement, okay? But for the most part, when we talk about family, we take the good with the bad. Hey, that's my cousin, man, he wild, but that's family. You see what I'm saying? My sister ain't shit, but that's my sister, man. She family. You know what I mean? And then of course there's like, I love my family, like my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brothers, my cousins, my aunts. Like that's my family. Like I wouldn't be here without them. There's also that, and there's everything in between. So, like I said, for the most part, whatever the holidays mean to you, whether you're black, white, Jewish, Italian, Hispanic, Latin, it doesn't matter. The holidays always usually starts and or ends with family. So me being a Ralph Lauren guy, you being a Ralph Lauren guy, or you being a Ralph Lauren gal, we do our thing, right? For us, it's a lot of times it might come off effortless, whatever the case may be, but we do our thing, right? And not everybody in our family does their thing. Quite a few of us have family members that don't know shit when it comes to this. So how does that come across during family gatherings is my question, right? So it actually spawned an episode, right? I'm gonna call this one Subtle Flex. Now, this episode is gonna be for two different types of Ralph Lauren aficionados or aficionadas, right? In my case, I flex hard on my family. I flex hard on them. But it's because of my personality that I'm able to do that. It's my personality and then their acceptance of who I am and my personality. Like my family expects me to come through swag to death. You know what I mean? And they're not gonna like, it's not an over exuberance of emotions. They not trying to play with me like that. It's more so like, cause you killing that, boy. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like we all family. We grew up together. So it's not gonna be no bowing down. Like it ain't none of that. I've never been around that. I'm not a celebrity. Like, and if I was, my family wouldn't give a fuck anyway. You still Micah to them. So, you know, all the stuff I did as a kid, man, shit. I ain't got no room to be trying to, you know what I mean, trying to stunt. But yeah, when I come out, I come out. You know what I mean? When I come out, especially when it's involving family. You know what I'm saying? Holidays, especially Christmas, tartan suits get brought out, the works. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, though, what about the guy or gal who, well, what about the guy who they family members are judgmental, right? Oh, okay, I see you doing it like that, right? Let me hold something. Or you can't let your brother hold something, bro. You know I'm trying to put some things together. Now I see you got money. I can smell a brother with money. So, you know, maybe just to keep from, you know, the turkey day dinner going left, you know, maybe you got to tone it down a little bit, but you still want to be you, right? So this is kind of, because there will be a holiday episode. Y'all know I do a holiday episode every year. Christmas party episode, whatever you want to call it. But this is kind of pre-holiday. You know, or early in holiday season type of scenarios, right? Where maybe you got to keep it a little subtle, but you still need to flex. You know what I mean? You still need to be you because you're a Ralph Lauren guy and you just can't see yourself not doing you no matter what other people think. But, you know, the wife or the kids like that, please, you know how Uncle Joe is, man. Just, you know how y'all get when y'all get together and he dressed in USPA and you polo head to toe with the giant P on the sweater and you know what ends up happening. You know what happened at Aunt Mabel's house last year. You know what I'm saying? So now you just kind of gotta keep it subtle so you keep peace. Or maybe you always too subtle around family. And now you know you done over the past 360 some days, you done amped your collection up. You know, you feeling proud, you done changed your style. Maybe you changed your style. Maybe you was waist deep in the low life culture. And now you more on you just hit 40. And now you like, you know what, grown man style from here on out. And that's what you've been doing. And you've been putting it together and you've been watching vlogs or whatever. You've been watching Seamless Style and you've been, maybe you bought time with me and we worked out your closet. And now the holiday season is here and you like, you know what, it's time for the new me to step out. Okay. So we're going to look at that too. All right. 3 rigs, my ensemble makes 4. All right. Again, I flex when I get with family. So, holiday season, which, just in case, again, like everybody has different takes on what holiday season means. But for the majority of us, there's Thanksgiving, there's my birthday, and then there's Christmas. So you got the day that some people came over here and slaughtered an entire civilization that we celebrate. And then you got my birthday, just a day of greatness. Like the only other birthday that's bigger than mine is October 14th. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's me. It's me. Let's be honest. Oh, and then Christmas, which we don't even know if that's really Jesus' birthday. Like, does anybody know? Show me some proof. I digest. But I flex. So this is me flexing around my family. All right. I come out. So I went full on Aspen. Colorado ski, modern ski. Right. I went with the Alpines that I showed y'all in the behind the scenes earlier. You know, the vanilla wafer joints. Some nice thick, warm hiking style socks here in cream. The wine corduroys because I just needed an extra pop of color. And red and wine don't usually coordinate very well together in my eyes, but because of the way these boots are and the way that they pop when you're standing up and just the whole way that these boots flex, it works. All right. I went with a vintage Polo Bear skiing on the wooden skis. Turtleneck. Didn't even fold my turtleneck down. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna pull it over my head and rock it. All right, that's kind of something I've been looking at lately, doing with turtlenecks, and I'm kind of feeling it. So that might be something that I continue. Just depends on the look. And then the piece de resistance for this ensemble is the Letterman jacket. All right, wool torso, leather sleeves, rib cuffs, and his Polo Bear ski team. All right, the hood zips open, but there's nothing on the interior of the hood, so I'm not gonna zip it open. I'm gonna rock it like this. Like my other jackets, my other Letterman jackets that zip open, they got something written on it, and so I rock them unzipped. But this one, they didn't put anything on it. Don't know why, but they didn't. But the patch here, man, I love it. With the bear on it, ski bears. I think it's got 1967 bear ski team or something written on the back of the jacket. Matching Scully. I did the trooper shades. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but that's about the gist of it. That's about the gist of it. Patches here on the sleeves. It's a great piece, man. Great piece. I love the gray and off-white and cream. I got a second ensemble that I do rock, that I will be rocking with this piece, with this jacket, and it's subtle. It's more subtle, where the jacket actually stands out. You know, this jacket is fighting for attention here because between these Alpines and this bear sweater with the taller Alonzo on it, he having a hard time. The jacket having a hard time. Fragrance of the ensemble, obviously, to me, it's obvious. It was a no-brainer. You know, just from the standpoint of the fragrance also works with the ensemble. But then just the name of it. So if somebody asks you, if your cousin or your auntie give you a hug, ooh, baby, what you wearing? Oh, just a little Polo Sport. You know, it just goes. Polo Sport, skiing, bear sport, Alpine Sport. It just goes. It just goes. So, you know, I mean, there are other fragrances in the world of Ralph Lauren that work with this ensemble, obviously. Oud works, leather works, cashmere works, both greens, the old and the new work. Even Ralph Club works with this. Any of the reds work, like Polo Blue definitely work. Like, to be honest, damn near all of the year-round the year-round fragrances work. But I just went with Polo Sport. So if and when someone asks, they can definitely say duh after you tell them, you know. Ooh, damn, cuz you smell good. What you got on? Polo Sport. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, it just fit. It just fit. That's all. Anyway, without any further ado, man, let's get into it. All right, subtle flexing for the holidays, subtle flexing for pre-holidays. You know, winding down that work schedule, getting ready to take a couple days or a week off. Subtle flexing, because you're gonna be around family, man. And do you wanna completely embarrass your brothers and your cousins and uncles, or do you want to kind of be under the radar but still be that guy? You know, let's get into it, man. Y'all ready? Me too. Man, let's go. This first look screams holiday. Screams holiday. And that's because of one small detail. Small, not necessarily subtle, but small detail. All right. It's obvious this is a dog sweater. You got the golden retriever. I'm gonna call him a toddler puppy. The golden retriever toddler puppy on the front of the sweater, right? The subtle detail that makes it holiday is the buffalo check scarf around the dog's neck. So because of that, this is a holiday piece. And of course, the time that it was released, this, fall holiday. This is a holiday piece. Now, again, we're a little early as far as our holiday episode. So that just means I got more holiday episode pieces available. You feel me? So anyway, this piece, this ensemble is a flex. It's not quite subtle because of the golden retriever, but it's just a hair above subtle, but it's not quite this, right? Because the dog itself, if you remove the dog and this was just a blue sweater, it's a lot more subtle. It's still a flex. Why is it still a flex? Because this sweater is cashmere, and so is this sports coat. So, when a family member sees it or touches it, they like, okay, cuzzo, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Uncle Bob. Your name, because your name's Bob, right? Your name's Bob. Uncle Robert, I see what you're doing. All right, that's clean. Woo, is that cashmere, Uncle Robert? That's cashmere. Come on, man, stop touching on me, son. All right. But this is a nice ensemble to be around, grown man style, somewhat whimsical because of certain pieces. They bring out the whimsicalness of the ensemble. So let's take a look at it from the bottom. All right. The shoes, no brainer. That's the route you need to go as far as footwear with this particular ensemble. Just from the textures. Again, we're talking textures here, right? Scroll up. Lightweight pants here, Prepster pants, houndstooth. So, you see what we doing. Houndstooth. You got to, right? Houndstooth pants. Now, depending on where you are, if you have thicker wool pants, some wool flannel, some like heavy wool flannel, if they're houndstooth, that'll be dope. If they not, it's cool. You know what I mean? You can do that too. But I just wanted to, my whole goal with this ensemble was to flex a little bit. All right. So houndstooth pants. Again, the cashmere sweater. It's a thin layer. This is not a thick layer. Most cashmere sweaters are not, unless they cable knit. Then they a little bit thicker when they cable knit. But this is 100% cashmere. Now the sports coat, it's a little heavier. This one is slightly heavier than my other cashmere sports coats, and I have a couple, not a lot, but I got a couple. But this is the heaviest one of them all. All right, with that beautiful Gurkha, that beautiful dark Gurkha hue over the cashmere sweater with the golden retriever. All right, the buffalo check bow tie to bring out the scarf around the golden retriever's neck. Oxford cloth button down, a knit Oxford to be exact, in the Columbia blue and white. And then just a quick, a little nudge, a little jab. We went with the Yale Bulldog lapel pin, and then we did a Ralph Lauren, just a green. It's like a dark mint green pocket square, just so another added layer of color. And when you're talking buffalo check, navy, and green, and that's that definitely rings out holiday. All right. You could add a scarf to finish it off. I think a buffalo check scarf would be a bit much. So maybe just something in a cream, a off-white cable knit scarf, something like that. That would be dope. It depends on where you at in the weather, but this is a great ensemble to say, look, this ain't last year. Okay. Last year I was this year I'm a little more grown. I had a 40th birthday, and I've been doing grown man things. Know what I mean? This is what that shows them. Like, I'm stepping out. It's a new me. I got teenage kids, or I got grown kids, or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not a little kid anymore. I'm a grown ass man, dog. That's this ensemble. So that, it's a flex, not so subtle. Now, this ensemble, this is my favorite ensemble. This is my favorite ensemble of the episode. Maybe even including the ensemble I'm wearing. Maybe even more my favorite, or maybe even liked more by me than the one that I'm wearing. All right. And the reason I just like this ensemble, the main reason is this fucking sweater vest. This sweater vest. This sweater vest is listed on RalphLauren.com as a Fair Isle. But man, listen, the only thing that's Fair Isle about this sweater is the chevron. All right. The rest of the sweater is more of a window pane on top of tattersall or some shit. Like this sweater is just dope. That's all it is to it. All it is to it. And when you see, when we get up close and personal, you see these different little subtle colors trying their best to pop out on this sweater, you'll understand why. But this particular ensemble is for one of my favorite parts of the holiday season as far as being around my family. And that's when the male cousins kind of get together and step off and do something. Some of us do smoke cigars, some of us don't. We all heterosexual. Some of us are happily married. Some of us are in relationships. Some of us are single, but we all men. Take that however you want to take it. But we tend to sometimes, we tend to sometimes over the course of those couple of days, normally around Christmas time, we'll find a moment to step off. It might just be for a 2-hour conversation. It might be to go sit down and have a drink. It just depends on what time permits. But it's one of my favorite parts of holiday season when it comes to being around my family. Because, of course, my favorite part is receiving gifts. Receiving gifts. Like this. Just receiving gifts. I digest. So this is something that I or you could wear when you're hanging out with the cousins, the big cousins, the smaller cousins, but the grown cousins. This is something you can wear if we stepping out. All right. We stepping out to go get a drink, or we stepping out to whatever, right? This is something that you could definitely throw on. It's subtle, but it's definitely a flex. It's definitely a flex because of the what the eye sees, what grown folks' eyes see. That's number one, and 1A is these different textures. All right, we talking about. Let's start at the bottom. All right, we ain't go with Ralph Lauren shoes. Why? Because when it comes to dress shoes, Ralph Lauren is top tier. Messline is right there with them. All right. I don't know what the Spaniards are doing, but these made in Spain Messline, I have 2 pair, and they both are just the construction of them, the look of them. It's a different level. It's a whole nother level. All right. But I went with these Metslines in the brown cognac with the blue heel. Right, scroll up, pair of slim fit chinos. This pair of slim fit chinos in a dark Columbia blue. I don't know what color we're gonna call this blue, but it's fantastic. And it just as you see, it just blends everything, man. Everything is just super coordinated without being matchy here. The banker shirt, the club collar banker shirt, Columbia blue with navy and white stripes. The pin dot, or as a layperson would call it, a polka dot necktie. But the pin dot tie is just classic. It's a classic, classy, clean look. Triple C like Rick Ross. It's a classic, classy, clean look. Right, and it just goes again. It goes perfect with the thought process behind this ensemble. Again, the air quotes Fair Isle sweater vest, right? A dark Gurkha base with Gurkha stripes, with a darker Gurkha stripe, a slate blue, a light blue, and just a little bit of wine. You see these colors popping off of there. They trying their best to come out, but that's the beauty behind this piece of artwork is that Gurkha ain't quite letting them flex. Man, this is a crazy ass sweater vest. I love it. And then you finish the look off with an overcoat. Now I could have went with camel hair, which would have been absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with camel hair, but again, with me, sometimes I gotta flex just a little bit, just a little bit more than everybody else in my camp, in my circle, in my family. So I pulled out the tweed herringbone overcoat, belted, little something light for them, ain't trying to do too much, a little something light. But no, this ensemble is great. It's clean. It's grown. It's appropriate for this ensemble is appropriate for anything you do over the holiday season. So even if it's an office party, it's not your traditional Christmas colors. It's not red and green. It's not black and red, but it still screams holiday somehow. I don't know what it is, but this still works for holiday season when it comes to holiday parties. But if you're just talking get-togethers with family, friends, cousins, Christmas dinner, Christmas breakfast, man, this right here, this one is a winner regardless. Hey, Unc, what's up? Not much. Hey, I was calling to see what you was wearing to Aunt Mabel's get together for the holidays. What you wearing? Wow, and he hung up. So that was you. Every year, Aunt Mabel have a great get together, all the family, because Aunt Mabel got a big house. So everybody come over. It's a spread. It's 3 tables full of everything you think of, right? And your Uncle Leroy, he call himself Leroy now because he got about 60, 70 suits in his arsenal. So he call himself Leroy. His real name Leroy. And he from Cleveland. His name ain't Leroy, and he's not from France. Anyway, your Uncle Leroy, every year, when he come through, killing him. He come through clean, but he just can't come through. He got to come through and run his mouth. Youngin, when you gonna learn how to, you pushing 30, youngin, you need to learn how to, put it together like your Uncle Leroy. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to put it together, youngin. You ain't gonna never get no women looking like that. And you can dress. You got a collection. You a Ralph Lauren guy, but this dude, man, he stayed. You know what I'm saying? He stayed trying to play with you like that, bro. He stayed playing with you. So you actually called him. Cause you was, thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna bust Uncle Leroy head this year. And he played you. You said, what you wearing to Aunt Mabel's get together this year? And he said, what you wearing for, youngin'? You ain't gonna be able to touch me. I hung up on you. That's what he did. Luckily for you, Uncle Leroy's wife, Helen, loves you. They've been married since you was this tall. So, that's the only, that's your aunt. You never ever once thought about, oh, that's my aunt by marriage. No, that's your aunt. So she called you back. She like, look, baby, you one of my favorite nephews now. And you can dress. But you're gonna have to bring out that heavy artillery to put your uncle to shame now. If you want to humble your uncle, you're gonna have to bring out that heavy artillery. You know he don't do nothing but suits, baby. He swearing down, he the king of the suits. So, you ask Aunt Helen, what kind of suit he already, and she told you. He pulled out a little heather gray number. You know what I'm saying? A little heather gray number, little maroon shirt. He wasn't even wearing no neckwear or nothing, and some simple shoes. I think they black. He wasn't feeling like anybody was gonna be in a competition for him. So you go ahead and do your thing. Just make sure you give me that wink when you come in the door, baby. So now that you know what Uncle Leroy is wearing, now you know what Uncle Leroy wearing to the party. Bow. We gonna bust Leroy head. And it starts really at the shoes. So without any further ado, let's get to the boop. You see him. Brought out them puppy tooth, houndstooth, collarless velvet slippers. Why you do the black socks with the skull and bones on them? Cause I'm about to kill this. I'm about to kill Uncle Leroy. He dead after the night. Houndstooth slippers, purple label socks with the skull and bones on it, reminiscent of the rugby era. All right, we ain't even want to do no dress pants because we wanted to do crispy white. We wanted it to be slim fit. We didn't want nothing to be no suit. We ain't want to do a suit. We wanted to kill this cat with pieces put together, right? So we brought out the white chinos. That's right, white chinos. All right. Then we brought out this beauty by Ralph Lauren. Puppy's tooth sports coat, dual vented in the back. Got some subtle blue in it, but it's not clashing with nothing. All right, it ain't clashing with a thing. Also, we did a Ralph Lauren houndstooth tie. So it's a bigger houndstooth bigger tooth pattern, bigger dog tooth pattern, but it works. It really, what it does is it signifies what everything else is. That's what it does, in my opinion. It signifies what everything else is. We went with a purple label French cuff shirt, spread collar, French cuff. We threw our monogram cufflinks on because we keeping it classy. We did tie bar, the shades, the sunglasses from the tie bar. We did a black rose. Why? Because this is a funeral. We burying Uncle Leroy tonight. We burying this cat. And then just for a pop of color, just for some fun, just for some fun and celebration, we went with a purple label silk pocket square in the lime green white polka dot. Man, we strolling up in here and we burying Uncle Leroy this year. We burying this cat. He's done. It's over. He ain't bringing enough ammunition this year. This probably gonna make Uncle Leroy beat your ass though. So I hope your hand game is straight, cause once he get a couple of whiskeys in him, he gonna knock you out. He gonna beat your ass. And that's another episode in the books. Episode 125, subtle flexing. We all got family, or hopefully we do. And if you don't have family, bro, I'm your family, cause you here, and I'm appreciative of you. You feel me? But we all got family, friends that we are going to be around more than normal during this time of year. And being someone that's into the world of Ralph Lauren and into style like we are, and not every family member is going to be on that same page with us. What do we do? Do we just do what we do and just come out the box flexing and let the chips fall where they may? I'm sorry you don't know how to dress, Uncle Jones, but that's your problem. You're a grown ass man. Why you don't know how to dress? Or do we kind of, just do our thing and, We don't want to show off too much because we love our family and we don't want to hurt their feelings. You know what I mean? We don't want to, cause no animosity because some people can't take it. We know that, right? So which one are you? However you are, hopefully this episode gave you some ideas on how you can play your position, whatever your position is, right? Now, this airs on a Sunday, November 27th. Tomorrow, one of the greatest men that has ever been created by the hand of God will turn 50 years old. Man. And it's crazy because you would think I'm talking about somebody else, but I'm talking about me. Hey, for real, yeah. Like, I really ain't this, like, insanely conceited. I'm really not. I'm really not conceited at all. Like, I'm confident, and there are rare times, but there are times that I can be cocky. But I've never been conceited. Like, I've never been conceited. I've been on all sides of the spectrum. I've been picked on relentlessly growing up, to the point of and to the other end of being praised to the point of being embarrassed by it. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not a cocky person. I'm not a conceited person. But yeah, tomorrow, November 28th, man, is yeah. Everybody should just don't even take off work. Just quit. Just quit your job. Quit your job. Celebrate the birth of me. Just celebrate me being 50. And then on the 29th, just go back to work like you didn't quit. You know what I'm saying? But call them first thing in the morning. 5 a.m. Say, look, I quit. I ain't coming. I quit. I'm done. What are you talking about? Mr. Parker's turning 50, man. I quit. Just quit. And just celebrate my birthday and then go back to work next day. It's all good. But no, man, listen, all jokes aside, it's been an amazing year. It's been an amazing run as far as Seamless Style. Just so many, for all of the terrible shit that's been going on in this world, the state of our culture, the state of this world, just everything. Like, there have been some great moments. Not only in 2022, but just when I think about my 50 years that I can remember, because I'm pretty sure, I think the earliest memories I have is maybe preschool, going to Immaculata back home in Durham, North Carolina. Immaculata preschool. That's as far back as I can remember. So that's 4 or 5 years old. I remember there were things that happened that I still remember to this day. But I just feel really blessed. I feel really blessed because, if you're a black man watching this, or if you're a black woman watching this, or if you grew up around black men, then and if you're in the age of 30 to my age or older, a lot of times, man, like, depending on what path you chose, 50 wasn't no guarantee. That's a far-fetched dream. If you was out there in the field, you was out there in them streets, you wasn't thinking about 50, you was thinking about tomorrow. Can I make it the next week? Can I make it the next month? Like, I just had to run from 12. Like, I got a warrant out. Like, things like that. Growing up, choosing certain avenues that I chose. And I'm blessed to be here at 50, dog. At the end of the day, I am blessed. And this world is not the type of world that I thought it was going to be if I made it to 50. But I'm happy for where I am. I'm proud of some of the accomplishments that I have made. I raised some beautiful children. And for the majority of 3 of them's lives, I did it on my own. Like, That's, I don't know if I'm gonna achieve anything greater than that. Like, I might become CEO of Ralph Lauren 5 years from now. I don't think that's going to be a bigger accomplishment in my life than raising 3 kids, taking on the responsibility of raising 3 kids when their mom was like, peace. Like, that's crazy, bro, that I did that. Because, I didn't, until I started having kids, I didn't think nothing of the dudes that I grew up looking up to, or that was a little older than me, that maybe I got some advice from as far as running the streets, who had kids and wasn't taking care of them, wasn't claiming them, But when I had my first child, my son, I'm like, yo, this mine. Like, this is my responsibility right here. And even then, if you'd have told me, yeah, well, in like 6 more years, you're going to have 3 more, 4 more, and you're going to raise 3 of them by yourself. Their formative years. I'd say, you out your motherfucking mind. But it happened. So again, I'm because I could do this all day. That's why I got to get me a podcast at some point, because I could do this all day. I could talk about life all day, and I go off on tangents. Anyway, tomorrow's my birthday, man, and I'm really humbled, blessed, and just amazed to be able to say I'm 50 years old. 50. And I'm fly than a motherfucker. I mean, this shit is crazy how fucking fly I am, dog. This shit crazy, bro. Like, for real. See, I can't even act stupid, conceited like that and with a straight face. Like, I can't do it. Like, I just ain't gonna never be that guy. But anyway, man, I want to thank y'all for being here with me, man. Like, it means the world to me for y'all to be here, man. It really does. And when these videos go from 300 to 500 views to 300 to 500,000 views, my thoughts on that ain't gonna change. Especially y'all, because y'all my day unos, man. Y'all my day unos, bro. Real. But anyway, hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend. And tell a friend that the first thing he or she got to do is hit that like and hit that subscribe, and then go tell a friend. And all y'all donate. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you know the routine. Artists, that's us. We paint pictures, right? Haters, that's them. They paint narratives. All right. Don't be no hater, fellas and fella-ettes. All right. Y'all have a good one.